Find anything good last week? I haven't been in a few weeks.
Last week?
Yeah. What did you find?
$300.
Oh, really? Like
20,
in cash?
In 20s.
Shut up, in what?
Yeah, that was the nice part.
Jeez. What'd you find it in?
In a purse that had already been gone through.
Really?
Really.
Jeez. Like kicking myself for not being here. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Goodwill outlet, the bins. I am back for another round of finding some amazing stuff. Always have to bring a drink with me. I accidentally spilt most of this in the passenger seat of my car and now I can't find the lid, so I'm trying to hold it and push the cart at the same time, and then I have to put it in my cart. So anyway, I start at different points every single time that I go to the bins. Some days I start at the hard goods, other days I start at the clothes, just because it's a lot easier to spot shoes and bigger items in the bins. And so let's see what we can find. I kind of scanned through a lot of these hard goods bins at first. Excuse me if I have a little bit of a cough still clearing my throat a bunch from having COVID. I grabbed this bag and I put it in my cart, but I did look at it a little bit later on. Sometimes you can find some older, like overnight bags, and they can be worth a good amount of money, but that one ended up not being worth anything. And this is a pair of duck boots, like winter duck boots, but it ended up being an off-brand, I think. So I put that one back. I do already have some stuff in my cart. As you'll notice, I usually have a little over an hour of footage that I have from my GoPro at the bins, but I kind of whittle it down a little bit so that I don't have as much of a long clip. That way it's easier to get through and you guys don't have to end up having such a long video to watch. This spot right here, I did spot a bunch of Legos, so you can see me pulling out my IKEA bag, getting ready to grab as many of those as I can. I do have 5 boys. If you're new here, you probably don't know that. My boys are ages 6 to 16. Legos have always been a part of our family's life at one point or another. And so getting some new kinds of Legos from different sets that we don't already have is always a big thing for my family. And it keeps the little boys busy. They love creating. They love building things. And as you see me go through this one section, I finally, as you see right here, I finally just picked all of the stuff that wasn't Legos out of this one spot and just started chucking it all aside, found a bucket nearby, and just started putting them all in there, just scooping them in. That way I could get through it faster. At a certain point, I finally decided, okay, I think I've got the majority of them, and felt like I was missing out on a lot of different things. And so I just decided I was done, and that was probably good enough. So I probably got enough to fill, I'd say, probably 3 gallon-sized Ziploc bags full of these Legos. And then a little bit later on in another bin, I actually find I think it's a jet bomber or something like that, that's black, missing one of the wings, but it still has most of the pieces. Or stealth bomber, I think it's what my husband called it. And so I found that one later on and put that in there with the rest of the Legos. I finally decided I was done with that and started going over to the clothing section. It depends on... Sorry, I'm yawning while I'm sitting here because I'm tired. I did find a lot of different pairs of jeans at this one. I believe these were some Carhartts. Yeah, I did find two exact same pair of Carhartts like this. I put them both in my cart. However, when I went through all of the items a little bit later on, I just decided that even though I could have washed them with some OxyClean, the bottoms were just a little too worn for my taste, and so I decided to put them back. I know people will buy Carhartts even when they're really worn, but they just had just a little bit too much wear. So you see me going through some of this other stuff. I did grab this shirt. It was a button up. I can't remember the brand, but I did put it back later on. Then those were, here's a couple of pairs of cutoff shorts, which I know are usually good sellers. They don't sell for a ton, maybe $15 to $18. But around a certain time of year, they end up being a pretty quick sell. And so, sorry guys. And so I will end up grabbing those anyway. I wanted to grab this shirt. It looked like it was really nice, but it is by a brand called Weatherproof. And because of the fact that they sell that at Costco now a lot, they sell that brand there a lot, it ends up kind of lowering the resale price on it. This was a Lane Bryant animal print shirt. I did put that in my cart, but later on I ended up taking it back out and putting it back in one of the bins just because I felt like it was kind of a dated design and material, and so I went ahead and left that there. This t-shirt I put to the side for a second, and then I kind of did a double take on it and went ahead and grabbed it for one of my boys who absolutely loves it, and it fits him perfectly. You can never have enough t-shirts when it comes to boys. They're always going through them, especially if it's one they really like. They end up washing and wearing and washing and wearing, and before you know it, it's just dead. This was like a mall brand. I can't remember which one. I think it was like Forever 21 or something, so I went ahead and left that, even though it was a nice design. Sorry if I'm making anybody yawn. It's just one of those mornings. All right, this shirt I did put in my cart. It is by the brand Stetson, which makes a lot of Western wear stuff, especially some very high-end hats. However, it did have embroidery on the pocket that said Boy Scouts of America, Montana Council. And so I went ahead and eventually put that one back. I thought I could maybe just unstitch all of the embroidery on the front, but then I thought about that again and realized I probably wouldn't end up doing that. It'd just end up in a pile. This I ended up not keeping because it's just Lucky Brand. And in order for me to pick up Lucky Brand, even from the bins, it needs to be a special kind of design. So this sweater, I think I put it back. Yeah, I just left it there. But it did have a nice feel to it, and if it was my size, I don't remember if it was or not. Maybe that's why I put it back. But if it had been my size, I probably would have kept it. It just had such a really nice feel to it. And you could even tell that just by looking to see when I'm handling it, kind of how the material moves itself. I don't remember what brand those jeans were. Y'all will see when I upload my haul video, which will be 3 days after this one loads up. That's what I'm going to be doing in the upcoming videos. I'm going to be doing videos uploading a schedule every 3 days. That way I am more consistent, and the more consistent you are with YouTube, the more that they end up showing your videos as suggested videos on the side to people that may be looking for that kind of stuff in the future. That was a Brooks top, which I've never found before. I don't find Brooks. People do a lot of running where I live because it's a higher end area. but they tend to wear all of their stuff out pretty fast. Just like these were some Asics shoes, but they did have that wear hole, like where the top of your ankle is, and it rubs. These were some cutoff shorts, but obviously they were a little bit more like underwear because they had such big holes in the front. So I just kind of left those. You know, you kind of have to have a line that you don't cross, and I think that was mine. So we do find a lot of different sheets and stuff like that at my bins. About 4 or 5 months ago, they started doing blankets over the top of all of the bins as they pull them out for the new ones. That way, if anybody's seeing an item in the top of a bin, you know, they're not fighting over it the second it comes out. And I've become a little bit more picky about certain things. This one, for instance, was a vintage polyester house coat. I think it was like a half zip. I did put it in my cart at first, and then later on I decided to put it back because I've noticed that there's a big difference in the way that the multicolored caftans sell with a certain pattern and design, and then the house coats like that. So I've become a little bit more picky in that respect. And here's some more jeans. I don't know if I kept there was a bin that did have a ton of jeans in it, like I already said. Unfortunately, I had already used up all of my space on my GoPro at that point, and so it was already turned off. And here you see me going through some t-shirts. Typically, I don't buy hardly any t-shirts. For the most part, the ones that I pick up are ones that I'm either getting for myself or my husband or one of my boys. I don't find things very often for my husband. There is a few exceptions to that. There was one quite a while back. There's a great pair of jeans right there. I can't remember the brand. There was a shirt a while back that I found for my husband from the adult cartoon called Archer that he thinks is just absolutely hilarious, and I like watching it with him, so he was happy about that. This was a lower end kind of skirt, but I still grabbed it anyway just because of the design and the materials on it. I thought were just absolutely gorgeous, and so I went ahead and kept that one. I didn't even bother looking it up just because I like the style so much. I'm a very bohemian kind of person, so if it ends up not selling for one reason or another, then I'll probably just keep it myself just because I liked it. This was a sheer kimono kind of overtop thing, and it was just a lower brand. So was that chevron shirt. Chevron print is kind of a lower, an older sort of style anyway. And then this was just apartment 9, which is, I believe, Target. I did keep those Under Armour shorts even though they were girls. And here we are with a new rotation. As you can see, people pulling back these blankets. I spotted this southwestern kind of blanket, and so I ran over there and grabbed that first, just in case. I know there are some that are Pendleton kinds that sell for a lot of money, and so instead of sitting there looking for the tag, I just threw it in my bag. That's one of the things I would recommend if you're going to the bins. If you want to make the most of it and have the least problem with maneuvering through so many people. One thing I do recommend is having a large IKEA reusable bag. Put that on your shoulder and just walk around with that if you can. Because when there's that many people, trying to go through them with a cart is just a huge pain in the butt, guys. It just keeps you from being successful, to be completely honest. And this purple thing right here, you'll see me picking up in just a second, is like an exercise ball. I think it was probably like 10 pounds. I just grabbed some Steve Madden black boots. They are called the Darcy, I believe. Those ones are already up and listed in my Poshmark closet. Everything that you'll be seeing me pick up and everything that's going to be in my video, in my haul, more yawning, sorry. Everything that will be in my haul will already be loaded up and in my Poshmark and listed by the time this video comes out. My kids are all at home in their rooms doing their thing. I didn't pick up those Land's End jeans just because it seemed like they didn't sell for very much, even though they were in pretty good condition. I'm trying to be more picky about that sort of stuff. I think these were some Lucky Brand's men's jeans, but I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure I saw the whole Lucky You thing on the fly next to the zipper. And there's some more cutoff shorts. I think those ones were Aeropostale. And then that's a really cute Chelsea and Theodore, but a cardigan. But I'm kind of noticing that it's not as big doing the whole waterfall cardigan thing lately. And so I've stopped picking up any of those. I have been, since you saw at the beginning of the video, one of my co-workers told me about finding $300 in a purse last week. So I've been looking a little bit more closely at some of the purses since that. You never know when you're going to find money that somebody left in something. There was, it was, I think like a year ago that I found $70 inside a Columbia parka. This is a vintage maxi skirt that's tiered. I don't know if it'll fit me. You know, the sizing's always off when it comes to vintage, but I thought it would look absolutely gorgeous as like a Western wear piece. I don't remember what this brand was, but it is really cute. So maybe I left it because of the brand, or it had some pilling or something. Because the whole color block thing is definitely still kind of a big thing, and it has a great look to it. Sorry for the butt shot. More butt shots. Decided to make my way back over to see if there's any more good shoes. I think maybe I must have spotted something. I always seem to have a ongoing pile in the very front of my cart, you know, where the kids usually sit, and that's where I keep the single shoes, ones that I want to find the mate to. And then at the end of my trip, if I know I'm not going to stay any longer and I still have some of them, there's usually quite a few resellers there that I'll say, hey, do you guys want my singles, so that you can look for the rest. Those are just some army camouflage pants, what they call BDUs. I thought about grabbing them just because my boys got airsoft guns, my two oldest, for Christmas, and they definitely need some gear to go along with it, but those ones wouldn't have been the right size because my 16-year-old is like 3 inches taller than my husband, so he's got very long legs. I think his length is like a 34, and those were like a 32, so it wouldn't have worked. It makes it very difficult to find him the right kind of jeans. It looks like these must have been Carhartts by the pocket on the left, maybe. Not sure why I put those ones back. I must have seen, like, oh, no, those had a tear on the side, like a really bad tear. I wanted to grab this even though I didn't know the brand because it was super soft, but it did have some pieces that were pulled really hard out. So I ended up just leaving it there. If it would have been in good condition and didn't have those big snags, I would have grabbed it because it was just absolutely lovely. And I'm kind of regretting not grabbing this, even though it was like Rude 21 or something, I think. Yeah. Just because of the whole patriotic thing. And those shoes were definitely very interesting. I don't remember the brand, but I think there was some discoloration in the white portion of them, and so I went ahead and left those there. And this was a Franklin Covey bag, but it did have some wear on the inside that was really bad, and so I went ahead and left that. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that still do like Franklin Covey planners, and so if you find anything that's brand new or in extremely good shape that's Franklin Covey, I would definitely recommend grabbing that because they tend to sell pretty good. These were some great olive green suede Toms. See, there's that Lego piece. It's like a stealth bomber or something. Missing one wing, but I mean, having pieces like that is a good thing. And we are almost to the end of this video, guys. Every once in a while I'll see a tie and just be curious and look and see if there's a brand name on it, but for the most part I really don't ever pick up ties because they don't have a very good resale value. But like I said, sometimes I do kind of look just because I'm curious. There was a lot of hand crocheted stuff, like little scarves, as you can see, some multicolored ones. And I've kind of stopped picking up anything that's Born brand at the bins unless it's in like almost perfect condition, just because the resale value on them has dropped drastically in the last little while. So, and they don't seem to be going through my closet very well. This Sorel boot that I keep having in my hand, someone found me the other one eventually later on, and I did buy those and bring them home with me. They are duck boots. Unfortunately, they are missing, which I didn't realize till I went to list them. They're missing the insert, the shearling insert for the inside of the boots to keep them warm. So I listed them considerably lower, hoping that they will still sell for me. And one of the last things that you'll see me get, this radio that I'm showing to this other reseller guy. It's from the 80s. You'll see it in my haul. It's pretty cool. They sell for anywhere between $60 and $100. So anyway, that is the end of this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed going to the bins with me. Love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.